This video is to help applicants using our online application form. Before you apply to Law Access, please watch the video on our website named Applying to Law Access. The video contains important information on who can apply to Law Access and what kind of help is available.
If you will find it hard to fill in our application form, you can ask for help from a community legal centre or the office of your local member for Parliament. If they are not available, you can email us with your phone number and we will call you.
To start the application process, go to lawaccess.org.au and click on the link to find legal help.
We ask you who needs legal help. The answer to this question will help direct you to the appropriate application form.
Individuals will be asked about what your legal issue is about, so we can let you know if Law Access will not be able to help.
For example, Law Access does not help with disputes between neighbours, but may be able to help with issues with your private rental or government housing. Where Law Access cannot help, you will see some other options for assistance.
If we may be able to help with your area of law, you will see more information on who we cannot help. Law Access is an option of last resort. This means that you must have already tried to get help from other services, such as community legal centres or legal aid. Please check that there is no reason why Law Access cannot help before you apply.
When you click on the link Start the individual application form, you will be taken to a page of information and conditions and will be required to agree with these before proceeding. Please read these carefully.
You have two options for applying to Law Access. You can either complete the online form or you can download a PDF that can be completed electronically or by hand and sent to Law Access.
As part of the application process, you will need to provide documents about your financial circumstances and your legal issue. Make sure you have the documents ready before you begin.
If you choose the online form, we ask you whether you are applying for yourself or someone else. You can only apply on behalf of another person if you have legal authority to do so.
As you fill in the form, please remember to use the Next and Previous buttons at the bottom of the form to move forwards or backwards through the questions. Do not use the Back button in your browser to go back to previous questions, or it will take you back to the beginning of the form, and you may lose some of the information already entered. You will be asked to provide personal information about the person who needs legal assistance. For the purpose of this video, we will assume that you were applying for yourself.
You will be asked for details such as your name, date of birth, contact details, and other personal information. Some of the questions that we ask are important for processing your application, such as whether you need an interpreter and who we should contact about your application. Some of the questions ask you about your culture, health, and other personal circumstances or vulnerabilities. The answer to these questions are important for two reasons. First, they allow Law Access to take into account your unique circumstances, and second, this data helps Law Access to improve our legal assistance services.
The next section of the application form asks questions about your home and money. It is important that you answer the questions in this section as completely as you can. The information is used by Law Access to work out whether you are eligible to receive pro bono assistance.
In this video, we will provide an example of how the form works. Jane has recently separated from her partner and is now a single mother with 2 children under 18. Jane receives wages from casual work and a government payment from Centrelink. Jane also receives an amount for child support. She does not receive any other form of income, so we'll leave the other boxes blank. Because Jane ticked the box labelled wages from work, the form will ask her how much she is paid and will ask her to upload a copy of her most recent payslip. Because Jane also ticked the box for government payments, she enters carer's allowance and the amount that she receives per week. Jane will be asked to upload a Centrelink income statement. Jane also ticked the box for child support, so will enter the details in the boxes provided. Jane will then be asked to enter her taxable income from the last financial year. The next questions ask Jane about herself and her partner. Because Jane is now single, she will answer all questions for herself only. Jane is not able to access superannuation and does not receive financial support from another person. Jane pays a mortgage, so will put the amount of her mortgage payment as her weekly housing cost. She does not pay child support to anyone else or pay for childcare. She does not provide financial support to anyone else.
Jane and her former partner own her family home, so Jane puts in the value of her property and the amount of her mortgage. Because Jane is recently separated from her former partner, she may add that he owns the property too, so Jane only owns a share. Jane does not own any other properties. She also has one bank account she controls and must provide law access with bank statements covering the last 3 months. Jane owns one car and puts in the value and that she does not owe any money for the car. She does not own or run a business or have any other substantial assets. She has not received a redress payment. Jane does have a credit card debt shared with her former partner, so we'll provide these details.
The application form will then ask whether you have tried to get legal advice or assistance from anywhere else. You will then be asked about your legal issue.
Again, we will use Jane as an example. Jane needs help negotiating a property settlement with her former partner, so she selects Family Children Separation. Another service has already helped her finalise the parenting arrangements. She provides her former partner's name and date of birth and the name of the law firm assisting him. Jane's former partner has just started the court process with the help of his lawyers. Jane and her partner separated after 10 years. They have 2 children, but they have already agreed on parenting arrangements. Her partner has sent her letters demanding that the house be sold. When she didn't reply, he started court proceedings. Jane would like to negotiate a property settlement where she can keep the family home and get a fair settlement. There is a court hearing coming up for the court to give directions. Jane will be asked to attach relevant documents. For her, these will include the letters she received from her former partner about selling their house and the family court documents she has received from her former partner's lawyers and the court.
Finally, Law Access would like to know how you found out about our service.
Before submitting your application, you will need to authorise Law Access to obtain information from others and to use your information in ways described in the application form. You can then sign and submit the application.
To find out what happens to your application once it has been submitted, watch the video on our assessment and referral process.